Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy Hodges, advocate for OCD, in particular pure OCD, which is also the community name for individuals with intrusive thoughts and mental rituals. It's also the name of my memoir, Pure OCD, The Invisible Side of Obsessive Compulsive Disorder. Today, I want to talk about a topic that is really important. It's really important to understand um, when you are engaging in self-pleasure as a means of testing and checking when you're having intrusive thoughts and the layers of shame that that can create, especially because it might feel like you were acting on the thoughts, or this might mean that you're capable of something. But I want to get into that a little bit more today. Firstly, I'm a certified peer support specialist, working with people worldwide, providing support, referrals. I do 8-week closed groups, and I also have an online community. In that community, you can find connection to other people all around the world that have OCD. You can have support, and we also have support groups, events, classes, and just connection to other people who understand and get it. These people understand the experience of OCD, and they are there wanting to connect to others to reduce the shame, the stigma, and to know they're not alone. And this helps with developing self-compassion, and self-love despite living with this. NoCD, NOCD is an app. Inside of that app, you can find all kinds of resources. You can connect with people. And also, they do telehealth, ERP, around the world. So if you want to check out if they do telehealth where you're at, go to treatmyocd.com or nocd.com. Why is it important to talk about this topic? I'm going to tell you. A lot of times, and I have a lot of videos on this, a lot of times you will read things trying to make distinction between what is OCD and what is not OCD. And you will often read people with OCD have insight that this isn't, or that these aren't thoughts that they want, yet they can't stop having the thoughts. This makes OCD ego dystonic. But also you will come across people with OCD will not act on their thoughts. I mean, this is true. Like, people with OCD, there is the motivation of having the thoughts is not desire. The motivation undoing compulsions is to get rid of the thoughts. I want this out of my head. I don't want to feel this way. Regardless of how long you've had it, and OCD may morph and make you feel like you want it. As I have talked about before, when physical symptoms get really high, sometimes you have lower insight. Having lower insight means you are convincing yourself, or you believe at this point there's no way possible it could be OCD. And when this happens, you're less likely to seek support and help. In a lot of ways, you think you don't deserve it. A lot of ways, you think, oh my gosh, this must have been my true self. I've tried everything, and now this is who I really am, and I have to accept it. This is a really tough place to be, because this is where you might experience really severe depression, suicidal ideation, things like that. This is the place where you need to seek help. You need to get that support. You need to know that you're not alone. The reason why I'm telling you all this is because all of this kind of works in conjunction together when it comes to acting on the thoughts. So, yes, people with OCD are not going to act on the thoughts as in motivated, like I'm having POCD thoughts, this is what I really want to do, so I'm going to act on it. No, that's not what even if your brain tells you that's what you want with OCD, because sometimes it will morph into that. That's not the case. However, you might see some things that you've done compulsively as acting on the thoughts. That may include masturbation, self-pleasuring, sex, watching pornography, conjuring up images on your own to see how you react to them, right? So this may feel like, well, I acted on them. Um, and then that can cause a lot of shame. Number one, because then you'll think people with OCD don't act on them, and I did. That must mean I don't have OCD. And then we can go down this other spiral of that must mean I'm this horrible person. I'm this deviant. What sort of person would do something like that? I'm disgusting. And now you may have OCD about that actual compulsive act. And what does that mean about you? Also, the shame and guilt that you may feel even after effective treatment. Looking back on the things that you did compulsively, the thoughts and the images and the feelings that you may have had. And I point down because y'all know what I'm talking about, the groinal and things like that. You may then have shame as well. You may then have guilt as well. And that feeds into the I don't have OCD. I must not have OCD. So, with all of this said, let's talk about the masturbation piece. Now, you are not going to hear a lot about this. There's only myself and a few other people that will talk openly about this, but it is so common for people to use self-pleasure, masturbation, porn, things like that, to test and check what's going on in their head. Now, this may seem extreme and it may feel extreme to you, but a lot of times it is, I'm going to masturbate to see what turns me on or if I can orgasm or not to something, which, by the way, I would probably advise against doing that because things get very confusing when you're getting around the orgasm. And sometimes things pop into your head. So, we've all done it, or no, we haven't all done it, but lots of us have done it, right? So I'm not like trying to shame you for doing, I'm just saying like that is a time where there a lot of things are out of control, out of your control. And so things may come up, thoughts may come up, feelings may come up, and in hindsight or in the moment, it may be very panicky, and there's not a lot you can do about it. Once the orgasm starts, you know, you know how it is. Um, so, anyway, a lot of times people will do this to test and check, and then a lot of times people will do this to clear the slate. I've had these icky feelings of the groinal. I just want to get rid of the feelings, or it was just so heightened. I just have to get rid of it. It's like canceling it out, neutralizing it. Or even maybe later you would want to have sex with your partner or you'd want to masturbate. And then it's this, oh my gosh, I can't because I had the groinal earlier. What does that say? That I want to act on it. See those words? That I want to act on it. When, if masturbation is just, or sex is just part of your everyday life, and now you're associating it with the thoughts and the feelings, images, things like that. The reason why I bring this up is I want to make sure that you know that this can be a compulsion and that it is not something about you. It's not something wrong with you, and it's not something that you have to carry shame and guilt around. I know so many of us have done compulsions that we look back and think, I cannot believe I did that. I can't believe, and I'm saying this out of desperation, I did that. There's so many things that I have done when I look back compulsively, and images I conjured up and feelings I conjured up just to test and check. And it makes me feel like shit. And I look back and just think, why in the world would I do that? And then, of course, my brain goes, well, what does that mean about you? What does that mean about the thoughts? They must be real. What kind of person would do that? And then this is how I dial it back. I was doing the best that I could to survive. I was doing the best that I could with these thoughts and images and feelings pounding me in the brain day in and day out, wanting anything for them to go away and live a normal life. And so I just would have tried just about anything to prove or disprove, thinking if I just this one more time doing this compulsion, then I'll know. And of course, it digs you deeper into the rabbit hole. So my message to you today is if you think that because you have masturbated to thoughts, watched pornography, had sex or not had sex after, or wanted to, conjured up images. If you have done these things and you think to yourself, because I've done this, nobody's going to believe me. This means I don't have OCD. This means I've acted on the thoughts. I don't deserve support and treatment. I'm here to tell you that you do. I meet with plenty of people that this happens with and to, and I have never met anyone that I think to myself, you don't deserve that connection and support, because that in itself is going to help you see you do deserve self-compassion. Don't argue with me on the video right now because I know you are, but you do. And being able to see other people, hear their experiences, and know that these people have experienced this too, I can have compassion for them. That means maybe I can have it for myself. And that's what I want for you. And that's what you deserve. If you can stretch yourself enough today just to believe me when I say that, I want you to try. I'm so sorry that you go through this. I'm so sorry that this has happened to you and that you are in your head over and over and over saying, I don't deserve it because of this. That is not true. You do. Come join my community, find other people that understand. You don't have to go through this alone. I'm here if you need me. ChrissyHodges.com, or if you want to join the community, look down in the link below. Click on the link. Come join us.